Hello everybody and welcome back to Crypto Atlas. We are less than 1 minute to go on the daily candle closure for today, and it is looking like pretty darn neutral with Bitcoin, as you guys can clearly see. And I just smacked the heck out of my my mic stand. Sorry about that, guys. Look at how thin this is. This is absolutely ridiculous. So it's actually going to be a very short video today. There's virtually no news that's going on. We had an absolutely explosive day yesterday, and I'm incredibly thankful for that. We'll talk about Bitcoin, Ethereum, Orchid, as well as Uniswap today, and looking at some things. I'm getting little clues as to what may be going on with Uniswap. Okay, there it is on the new day, $55,920 or so. And as you guys can see on the new daily candle position, it has been like 10 seconds so far, and we already almost had that full body candle, and we have now passed it. Okay, so like in 15 seconds, basically, we just oh my god, this is what's so crazy about stuff with crypto. Here we are, we're above $56,000 once again. Oh man, I'm glad that I do these videos when there's a new daily candle positions, so you guys can see this in and how everything adapts to it in not real time, but kind of real time, because you guys are seeing the video replay on this. So volume in comparison to the day before, let me just go, we're on the daily candle. Wow. Okay, let me zoom out. So pretty good size volume candle right there. Not the biggest thing you've ever seen in the world. That's what she said. But that also doesn't quite make sense. But anyways, so you guys can see that the volume has declined just slightly yesterday. We have this formation of like a Darth Maul pattern right here, and with this daily candle position was starting off pretty green, but now it's starting to flip the opposite direction here. Let's go and look at it on a little bit more of a micro position instead of macro like that. On the 15-minute, you can actually see that the yesterday's position just before closure had hit all the way on the 21 EMA, which is kind of interesting. I only really focus on the 21 EMA on the daily candle positions. Right now we're on the 15-minute, as you guys can see on the very top left-hand side there. But that is interesting. They had a little bounce off of that, and suggestively being under this kind of a line would indicate typically that we're in a bearish pattern. But again, we're looking at this on the 15-minute, not on the daily. If I go over to the daily and you take a look at the 21 EMA, you guys can see that it's way down here. That's actually coinciding with the Fibonacci level at $47,000 now, which is very interesting in my opinion. And yeah, so we're going to keep an eye on this. Was starting off a little bit green, having a little bit of a pullback right now. As you guys can see from the previous day before yesterday's candle, yesterday, it had actually retraced down about half the way of that whole candle body that we saw back on February 19th. That's what I was trying to say. It actually came back up, and then as you guys saw, it closed out just barely in the red. So there was selling pressure for sure. There was some buying pressure as well. This pushing all the way up to 57,600 and yeah, about 57,600. So what's going to happen today? I don't know, but this is interesting, don't you guys think? Okay, so we'll get back to that in just a little bit. Just a couple quick things that we'll go over very quick. Elon Musk, he said over on Twitter, there was a little correspondence between him and with Peter Schiff. So Peter Schiff said, according to Elon Musk, Bitcoin is almost as BS as fiat money. So Musk regards both Bitcoin and fiat as BS. I agree. I just think Bitcoin, which is digital fiat, is even more BS than the paper fiat issued by central banks. Gold is not BS. It's real money and better than both. And Elon Musk responded, he said, an email saying you have gold is not the same as having gold. You might as well have crypto. Money is just data that allows us to avoid the inconvenience of barter. That data, like all data, is subject to latency and error. The system will evolve to that which minimizes both. That said, Bitcoin and Ethereum do seem high, LOL. And then consequently, guess what? When he said something like that, Bitcoin's price ended up going down a little bit. But other people have been responding to this, and they said that, oh, last time he said Tesla seems too high, which he did say on Twitter, the price of Tesla ended up doubling. But to be fair, in the short term, when he said that, Tesla's price stock actually went down right away. It wasn't, I mean, the price is higher now, but when he made that statement, it actually went down. And we saw Bitcoin go down today as well. He's got to be careful with what he says. And I find it kind of ridiculous when he's invested into these assets and then he says things like this, that he thinks that it's too high. It just makes it seem like he doesn't have as much confidence in these things as what he probably should. But, it is what it is. That's my opinion on that. And then Peter Schiff responded, he said, seems high compared to what? That's the problem. Bitcoin has no real value, no use case or utility, and there's no historical comparison that relates the price of Bitcoin to the price of any other good. You also can't value it like an investment as it has no earnings or yield. High compared to gold up 100% in 40 years, I think he means, Peter. Somebody else's response to him over on that. And he says Bitcoin has no real value. I disagree with that. The value is dictated by all the various fiats, not just one fiat that's been supplemented into Bitcoin's purchasing price and the ownerships of individuals that have a market value above that of zero. So identifying that it is a currency as a means of exchange, more predominantly being used as a store of value because it accrues a high level of interest gain basically over time. Most predominantly, you're getting the interest through things like BlockFi if you're using a DeFi space. But I'm talking about percentage gains, sorry, when I say interest. So, and there's no historical comparison that relates the price of Bitcoin to the price of any other good. Well, it's been around for 12 years. It didn't just come out yesterday. So there is some data to be able to reference in this, right? It's not as strong as, say, some other assets that have been around longer, obviously, but it still has 12 years of reference point. Anyways, so I'm just going to ignore the rest of what he says there on that. And then let's go back. No, why did it do that? Why did it do that? Why do you have to update your stuff like that on me? Okay. Pompiano says, banks are closed. Stock market is closed. You can't access majority of your wealth right now. This is archaic in a digital global world. Bitcoin fixes this. I agree. And then CZ Binance did a little post with his meme stuff. This is actually really cool. The stimulus check has crossed the $10,000 mark. So if you guys got the stimulus check in the past from the U.S. government, it was $1,200. You guys remember that? Guess what? If you just deposit that instantly into crypto, into Bitcoin, it would now be worth over $10,000. So that's actually really cool. Love that. Now, in regards to Uniswap, Crypto Lark, who's another YouTuber, really nice guy, awesome. Oh, by the way, guys, if you use Twitter, go check me out on Twitter, dudes. I'm at Atlas Official TV. I get like no love. I don't know why. I feel so alone on Twitter. I'm sharing all this stuff with Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, and I get like no engagement whatsoever. I'm like, what? Where's my community? I got like no one to talk to. I see all these people partying, hanging out and stuff, talking crypto. And I'm like, yeah, I found something cool. And then everyone just keeps talking over there. I'm like, no one wants to talk with me? I feel lonely. So if you guys want to check me out, I'm on Twitter at Atlas Official TV. Anyway, so Crypto Lark, what he said was Pancake Swap on Binance chain has been exploding and total value locked. I wonder if it will flip Uniswap in the coming weeks. The message is pretty clear. People want DeFi with low fees, and they are voting with their feet. Okay, so something that's really interesting with this is the fact that that Uniswap had a really nice daily candle today, well, as of yesterday, technically. And with that being said, I'm wondering if people see remarks like what Crypto Lark said, because this is a lot of engagement. We're talking about 1,392. I'll go ahead and give him some love on that too. With that many people that are engaging something like this, people might look at that and be like, oh, crud, I've got a stake in Uniswap as a token, and I need to make sure that this value keeps going up. So you might have more whales that come in to pump the price of Uniswap to shift the focus back over there and say, look, Uniswap's not dead. It's still got room to grow and to still do some big things, man. So we're going to take a look at that here in the charts here in just a minute. I also want to tell you guys about BlockFi. I have a link in case you guys are new to crypto, couple things. So I have a link in the description. You can sign up through my Coinbase referral link if you would like. You get a little extra bonus. I get a little extra bonus. So if you never use Coinbase and you're going to do some crypto things, feel free to check that out if you guys want. And then also, if you're holding on to your Bitcoin or Ethereum or Litecoin, and you're not planning on selling it anytime soon, then instead of just watching the price go up and down on it, you could also, if you want, stake it through the BlockFi, which I have a referral link. And same thing, you guys are supposed to get a little bonus. If you do it with that, I get a little bonus too. But by staking it there, you get a daily interest bonus. It pays out once a month. For Bitcoin, it's up to 6% on 2.5 Bitcoin or less that you put over there. And then also, if you do more than that, then there's a separate 3% for the other extra amount of Bitcoin. But they got different things. I'm not going to ramble on about it. But yeah, you guys can check that out too. I've been earning a nice little interest daily on that, and it compounds. So it pays out each month, and I keep it in there. It's just making me earn more money. Anyways, so looking at this, we do have that big candle position shift that took place yesterday for Bitcoin, right? At $54,000 on a low, all the way up to $57,570 on the high. So quite a bit of a difference there. But closing out, basically nothing happened, right? So as of so far on the daily candle, it did start to rally up, as you guys saw on the new daily opening. Dropped down a little bit here, came back up, still trying to fight that line position. So going to be interesting to see how this plays out over the next day. If it decides that it wants to get back on track to previous trends, suggesting of us going towards $100,000, I've talked about this in each of my videos, but basically back in mid-December, I started that copy pattern once we hit a high and had a bit of a dip and started to recover. And I just copied and pasted that all the way up, just as a fun little hypothetical thing. So what you guys are seeing with the purple lines is if we were to have that same uptrend effect that was taking place from the December movement, and with some pullbacks, right? It's not just straight up, but with some pullbacks as well, how long it would take us to hit $100,000. So we would need to hit today just to get back into the entry zone on this, approximately almost $60,000 at $59,521 to get back into that zone. And that's just at the very bottom of that candle position. And as you guys can see, as I just kind of zoom out here a little bit, this starts to rally itself up a little bit more. And then right about here, so more or less on like April 21st to April 22nd, we could end up seeing $100,000 Bitcoin, which would be awesome. It would be totally radical, dude. I don't know why that popped in my head. I'm curious as I was saying that if someone else was thinking that. Probably not, but that would be weird. You guys are reading my mind now. What am I thinking about? Thinking about pancakes. Why? Because we just talked about it, okay? Hope you guys are enjoying yourselves. Don't forget to subscribe. I don't know if I mentioned that in the beginning. Don't forget to subscribe, guys. Hit the thumbs up like button. Let's try and get this video to at least 100 likes. It only takes you a quick second. If you're watching the video, just stop what you're doing real quick. Click, subscribe, like. Hit the bell icon so you know when we got a new video. You're good? Okay, cool. Get back into the talk and discussions. Right now, we got to try and get above this level of 57,575, like I said, and then we're pushing up towards 60,000. That's realistically our big goal right now anyways, is to get out of the 50K range and get over to 60K. Then if this decides that it wants to drop down, we're seeing a minimal amount of support realistically right around $52,607. It's not very strong. Same thing, like not very strong at $50,900, but it is there. And then realistically, we got $50,000 from a psychological standpoint. $49,000 is a level of support, much more substantiated below that. And then the biggest level would be at $47,000 right now. So if that ended up having a drop, that would be quite substantial. And we would end up seeing ourselves on that. I always forget where these things are, man. Price range. There we go. From the daily candle position open in here, if it dropped all the way down, that would be a 16% correction. Just so you guys know, dropping below 50K, which already would be pretty hard, but if it decided to drop even further, that would be a 16% correction on the daily. And anything is possible. We've been having a strong rally with this whole time. We've been above the 21 EMA for a while as well. And so, some point things cool down. We see these little pullbacks. Let me really stress that. But things overall are looking very good for Bitcoin. Next up, we look at Ethereum. Ethereum hit over $2,000 finally. Was looking pretty good, but then Bitcoin ended up having some pullback as well. People took their profits off of this and ended up retracing back down below. So we're now sub $2,000 once again. Once it broke $2,000, it was really rallying there pretty good. Went up to $2,042 before coming back down and closing out in the red. It's still weird though, by the way, that we keep setting new highs. It's like the days that we keep having like a really good run, like here for example, hey, we're looking really good, and then it sells off. You know what I mean? The day ends up in the red. So it did so well, and then everybody just basically drops it like it's hot. So today's candle position, if it decides it wants to drop further down, we're seeing some relationship with the 21 EMA. That's at $1,750. Still a very strong level of support there. Still have, a little bit of concern if it decides to go down to that level, but if it does, then we have another level of support just a little bit below that at $1,700, which would also be quite substantial. But if some crazy thing again happens like this, then even still, you got 1425 as a significant level even further down below. If we can break above $2,000, guys, then we're looking at about $100 increases as we move up on this. It's price discovery zone. The sky is the limit on this stuff. The RSI is actually just slightly down as of the last couple days. So this is suggesting that we still have some room to still grow in that regards. Unless we consolidate for a bit, then this should start to even out quite a bit as well. And then we have another further rally up with this. So Ethereum made its moves. We did see some moves on some of the other altcoins. I'm going to go ahead and take a look at Orchid now. So looking at Orchid, as you guys can see here, as of recently, we did have a nice push up on February 19th. Yesterday also had a nice little tap on that Fibonacci level at 68 cents. I mean, my sequence, look, some of you guys, if you're watching my Orchid stuff all the time, and I see people sharing all kinds of things over on Twitter, feel free to share the link to this video or screenshot this part or something like that. If you've been watching my TA on Orchid, which I've been doing it every day now for quite a long time, my Fibonacci levels that I've been doing more than anything, and my call outs with the 21 EMA have actually been very, very, very accurate with Orchid. And I'm very proud to say something like that. I don't normally like to boast or pat myself on the back with something, but I really like this project. I really care about it. This is my favorite altcoin. I'm not a financial advisor, okay? They're not paying me to say this kind of thing. I think this project has so much promise and it's so undervalued. And as we're tracking things, I have to be unbiased in my own personal interest in this and just look at the actual charts, right? And this is very interesting as what's been going on with it. And so with where we're at, you guys can see the Fibonacci level is speaking for itself right there. This basically filled within that gap. We're forming a consolidation all throughout this range right here, which is also fairly good, for Orchid. I still would love for it to be already above $1. But that's my personal opinion on this. You look at the track record with Orchid, and it has these long periods of time where it does these sideways action consolidations. In fact, you can see I got these two different rectangle periods. It's like there was a long phase fitting that region, and then we also had a long phase in this upper region as well. Just on the strict Fibonacci sequence positions, you guys can see, like I said, where we're at with that. So we still got to try and break above 68 cents. Yesterday was a red day in the end, essentially invalidating the previous day. If we go down, we have a level of support at 57 cents or 0.787. Further level down below that at the 21 EMA is at 53 cents. Further level down below that is at 47 cents. And then if we decide to go up, we got the resistance at 68 cents as mentioned. Breaking above 79 cents is still an obstacle that we're trying to overcome. And then if we can manage to do that, we have some more resistance at 82 cents. And then basically it's clear skies up to the $1 region zone. RSI is slightly down as well, so we still have some more room just even from that simple basic technical analysis indicator that we could still go up. Now let's go and take a look at Uniswap. As I mentioned, this is trying to be a much shorter video than normal. And yesterday, just absolutely massive explosion. You guys can see the level of volume that took place on this candle as well. RSI is suggesting that we are a little bit overbought. However, on the new daily candle position, it's very tiny. Not much has actually moved. It went up at first and then went down, and now it's coming back, and now it's actually in the green. So this is still looking pretty darn good. This breakout that we had take place put us into about the median zone now of this on the Fibonacci sequence, and I would expect us to actually see some potential resistance today on its way up at $34.36. And if it can manage to get above that, then the next major level is going to be at $46.73. So very interesting how this is continuing to progress. If it decides to go down, look for potential support at $22.04, and then most significantly at the 21 EMA at $20.91. So this could end up being a big pump and dump situation if it's just like a fake out and they're going to be pushing the attention back over towards Pancake, as we were talking about with what Crypto Lark was looking at. I'm still bullish on this though. Personally, I still think Uniswap is holding up very well. The rate of adoption with it has been very, very good, and I am leaning more towards the bull side right now. Just looking at the charts with where we're at currently, especially because we're in the upper quadrant on this Fibonacci sequence position, and we're still holding right near that top as well, even after this big explosive day. So things are looking good in my opinion. Okay, that's going to go and do it for this episode. If you guys are new to the channel, don't forget to hit subscribe, hit the thumbs up like button. Let's try and get this video to at least 100 likes. Click the bell icon as well so you know whenever we have a new video. Let me know what you guys think about everything. If there's any news that came out that I didn't really talk about, didn't really seem like there was much today, you guys share all that stuff down below. Let's build a strong community. Check me out on Twitter, Atlas Official TV, and I will see you guys in the next episode.